I've got Jacob Malone and Suzanne Elia with me today to discuss the topic of registering to vote. Thanks for being here. First, Suzanne, tell us about the Purdue Votes Coalition and its mission.
So the Purdue Votes Coalition is part of the Roger C. Stewart Leadership and Professional Development Department. And we work with students of all ages, undergrad or graduate students, in order to just engage civic action. So we do that by partnering with campus partners, off-campus partners, tabling, workshops, things like that, just to increase engagement.
That's great. Jacob, what are the steps that students should take to get registered to vote?
Yeah, so at Purdue, they can register to vote either here using their campus address, or they can register back home in their home state. And we can register folks with a federal voter registration form, which is what we use in our department. And they just have to have a few items of information. We go ahead and send that off. But if they're from Indiana, they can use their Indiana driver's license online. That's another great way for folks to register to vote. But yeah, those are the two most common methods.
Okay, that doesn't sound too difficult. So what, in your guys' opinions, are the reasons that you feel like most people don't get registered to vote?
Yeah, I feel like mostly it's just knowledge and time. A lot of people might not realize that they need to register themselves to vote. Some states do it automatically whenever you turn 18, or they'll ask you at the DMV whenever you're getting licenses and things like that. So having to take that extra step to get registered is something that people may not know about or may choose not to do at the time and push it off until later. And then there's always a deadline for registration, and that varies by state as well. So if they're not aware that they need to do it, they may not do it, or they may push it off and not do it in time.
Okay. What would you say to encourage people that have never gotten registered to vote that they should get registered to vote?
Yeah, I think that a lot of folks think that their vote doesn't necessarily matter. A lot of folks look at it through the two-party system and they say, I don't want to vote, or I don't think that my vote's going to matter. But we really encourage folks to think that, it's not just the presidential that you're voting for. There's down ballot races, there's senators, there's representatives, there's state senators and state reps. So it's not just about, the presidential election, although that is the one that gets the most attention. But there's important elections all over, and it's not just about the one big thing that we get a lot of publicity around.
Okay, so it's looking like Purdue is going to get an early voting location, and it looks like it's going to be the co-rec. Why is it important for Purdue to have a location on campus for students to vote?
Yeah, I think that it's important, and we'd love to have that. But what we've been doing since we've known that we wouldn't have a on-campus voting location this year is we've really been encouraging folks to vote early. So there's early voting at United Methodist Church on Mitch Daniels Boulevard on October 22nd from noon to 5. That we've been encouraging folks to do, as well as down at the county building. So we've really been, as great as a on-campus voting location would be, we're trying to really encourage students we're trying to tell students that it's not just election day that you can vote on. There's many, many days that you can vote on, and informing students about their options.
Yeah, and I think something really important with that as well is election day is on a Tuesday, and of course we're all students that are on campus right now, so we have classes, we're busy, things like that. So getting to a voting location isn't just about having it, but also making the plan to go. So maybe if you're busier on Tuesdays, you plan in advance to go, to one of those early voting locations and things like that.
Yeah.
So just paying attention to what your options are and then making the choice.
Okay, thank you both for talking with me. I feel like you guys gave a lot of good information. That's all the time we have today. Thank you to our guests, Suzanne and Jacob, with the Purdue Votes Coalition, for being with us today. And thank you for watching Washington. See you next time.